In this video, we're going to handle customers by email. So we need to do some code refactoring. Currently in our application, if we perform multiple checkouts with the same email address, then we have multiple customer entries in the customer table. And you may have seen this already. So in this example, John Doe, he made multiple checkouts. And so now we have multiple customers. And we want to clean this up and refactor the code to only have one customer. So for our solution, we'll have a single customer who's going to be associated with multiple orders. What we'll do is we'll check the database to see if the customer already exists based on their email address. If so, then we'll use the existing customer from the database, else we have a new customer. Alrighty, so let's go through our development process. So the first thing that we'll do is remove existing data from the database tables. We'll modify the database schema to only allow unique email addresses. Then we'll add a new method to the customer repository where we find by email, so finding a user by their email address. And we'll check to see if the customer already exists. If so, then we'll use the existing customer. Alrighty, so looking at step 1, remove existing data from database tables. So this is some SQL that will run in the MySQL workbench. So up top, we make use of use full stack e-commerce to make use of that given schema. So then with this set foreign key checks equals 0, this basically temporarily disables foreign key checks as far as the referential integrity between these different tables, customers, orders, order items. This is useful when you need to delete data and not have to worry about the foreign key checks. So this is okay since we're removing all the data from these related tables. And so now we use the truncate command to remove all the rows from a table. So I do a truncate on customer, orders, order item, and address. And these are all of the tables related to our customer checkout. Now you may wonder about truncate versus delete. So in general, truncate is faster than delete for very large data sets. And also truncate resets the auto increment back to the starting value. And there's some other subtle differences between the two, but here we'll just make use of truncate for this. In step 2, we'll modify the database schema to only allow unique email addresses. So here at the bottom, I have this alter table customer, add unique email. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting up a database constraint to only allow unique email addresses. If you try to enter a duplicate email address, then the MySQL database will actually throw an error in that given case. So here we're just adding some more database constraints on our given table. In step 3, we need to add a new method to the customer repository. So Spring Data REST and Spring Data JPA supports query methods. So Spring will construct a query based on method naming conventions. So here we have this customer find by email. In the background, Spring will generate the appropriate SQL. And this is where we have some of that Spring magic as far as doing that work for us. But let's kind of dig behind the scenes and kind of see what happens. So we need to find a customer based on their email address. And we have this new method here, customer find by email, and we pass in the email. Behind the scenes, Spring will execute a query similar to this. Select star from customer where email equals the email. And the email is the actual value that the user passes in when they call this given method. Now this given method here, if they don't find a match, then this method will actually return null. In our place order method, we had all of our code from before, and I'll kind of zoom in on this new section that we just added here for this given feature. So what I like to do is check if this is an existing customer. So first off, I get the customer's email address, and then I make use of that new method that I just created in the customer repository. I'll say customer repository.find by email. I pass in the email, and they'll give me an actual customer from the database. And remember, this method will return null if not found. So then I can use this in some logic coming up here. I can say if customer from database is not equal to null, that means, hey, we found somebody, then let's go ahead and assign them accordingly. So here I have customer equals customer from database. And that's it. Then I continue on with my normal order processing here. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move into the next video and let's write some code.